Hello and welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. My name is Jason. I'm joined by Dan, Max, Mike, and our special guest, Mark.
Hey, everyone.
So let's start it off. I want to start off real quick before I get to Mark and just send a shout out to our social media lady, Christy. Max brought Christy to our attention, a year and a half now, and she's been doing all of our social media, and she is a godsend to everything that happens on Three Geeks podcast, and she's been doing a lot of stuff for McGTV as well. So Christy, from all of us, happy birthday. I know Max might have some other words,
from
but
all of us.
As far as me,
say,
Dan, and I'm sure Mike,
for
we
yourself.
want to say happy birthday to you.
That's from all of us.
Max, what would you like to say to Christy?
Huh?
What would you like to say to Christy?
Nah, there's nothing I'd like to say to Christy. Not one thing.
You know Max loves you. So
No, that's not true. Don't say that. That's an untrue statement.
We have Mark from Cornshaq over on YouTube. Tell us a little bit about your channel.
Well, I've been doing YouTube almost overnight, like 9 years now. It'll be like my anniversary this week. I mostly cover retro walkthroughs that are called Play It Through. It's like a Let's Play, but pretty much I actually play through the entire game. I like master it, and then I do a video like explaining like how it works and try to help people along beating some of these like classic old games. And I also do modern reviews for stuff mostly on PlayStation 4, but I cover some other stuff. I did some PC stuff this week, and basically I'll run the gamut, but it's mostly a lot of current PS4 stuff, especially like indie, smaller titles. And then I've just recently also started doing countdown videos where I count down various topics, some modern, some old, some in between. Month of Halloween, I've been doing every week a different generation of game consoles and counting down my 10 favorite horror games for each.
Well, you're obviously into video games. What was the one game that like got you hooked to the genre?
I've actually been playing games since I could potentially even hold a controller. So like I don't even have a time in my life where I wasn't gaming. Basically, my parents were like at 1.5, 2 years old. They're like, "Here's a controller, start playing," and I just started playing Mario. And so there's like some people are like, "Oh, well, you know, at 10 years old, I played Zelda for the first time," or whatever it may be. For me, it was I don't have a time in my memory where I wasn't gaming.
Yeah, I'm a big gamer too. Actually, I'm co-owner of a video game store here in Columbus, and
Shameless plug. BGMX.
shameless plug. That's right. Dan works at a local video game store. Dan's a big gamer on our podcast. Dan, would you like to ask?
Can I plug mine now?
Sure. Plug your game store.
Grove City Video Games Express. Go there. And here.
But what made you jump into YouTube?
I saw this is of course 9 years ago now, so like YouTube is completely different than it is now. But I saw a post on Game FAQs on the Nintendo Entertainment System board, and there was like some guy was just mentioning his Let's Plays, which I had not heard of at that point. Most people probably hadn't even really heard Let's Plays. Like the biggest Let's Play channel was a couple thousand subscribers, unlike today where it's, you know, millions of subscribers. But I saw what his videos were. I was like, well, I can do that. Obviously I love gaming. So I was like, you know what, I'll do a test pilot. And I did one episode. It was like really awful. It kind of became infamous. Like if you search my name, it'll come across because the YouTubers known as Retsupre, they covered it as one of the first videos they kind of mocked or whatever you want to call it. And so I kind of became internet famous pretty early on because of that video alone. But I like doing it, so I kept up doing it for all these years, and I've kind of like started to branch out now. That's my thing. I do it for my living now. I make videos and stream and all that good stuff.
Nice.
I was curious from the video maker standpoint of things. It's like which series do you feel you're dedicating a lot of your effort and time to? Is it the Let's Plays or is it the countdowns, like coming up with an outline for the countdowns and so forth? Like
my week at this point has become so busy. Like for Play It Through is because the series is a retro walkthrough series, so I can spend sometimes it takes hours, days, weeks, months, years to finally get like good enough at a game to get a video done. So it's kind of one of those ones like for Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I did 100% run of that game, and it took me a couple of years, like kind of fully not only get the route down, but finally get lucky enough to get 100% run done. If you know Zombies Ate My Neighbors, like one of the hardest things about the game is keeping all the neighbors alive for every single level. Like never having one die. That's like 100%. You have to keep them all alive for every single level. And later on in the game, there's points where these the couple neighbor instantly becomes a werewolf as soon as you get close to him if you don't get to him within the first like 5 seconds of the level starting. So a lot of people don't even know that happens because like most people only get to that far, let alone that far with that many people. So I was like sometimes where I get a really good run going, get to that level, and then boom, when I just hear the scream from off screen of them like dying, I'm like, and I got to restart the entire run over from the beginning.
Oh my god.
So I work on those like off and on. Basically, like right now, I'm working on videos for Play It Through that won't be on my channel until February and March of next year. Because that way I try to get as far ahead as I can because I never know how long a game's going to take. But then it's my weekly stuff like Tuesdays now because most new games come out on Tuesday. I'm working 18 hours on Tuesday most weeks now, like 15 to 18 hours to play the games, get them reviews done, edit them, and all that stuff. And then it's usually once I finish all my reviews for the week, and then it's like, okay, let's sit down, let's work and finish out the countdown as far as finalizing the list, picking the games that I absolutely want to include, and then start working on getting footage and all that stuff, and then recording the actual like stand-up talking part of it.
And then to add to that, you're also on Twitch as well, like doing live streaming and so forth.
Yeah, I currently still stream 4 days a week. 3 days are like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are kind of normal streams where sometimes I'm playing, like right now I'm doing horror stuff because it's my, right before Halloween.
Right.
But usually I'm playing a lot of stuff that I'm going to be reviewing. So I kind of work that as a double thing where it's like, oh, you can see me play it live, and then I'm going to be reviewing it later that night once I finish it up or whatever it takes. And then Fridays, after working all week, Fridays is my party night. I have some of my friends over usually. We drink and goof off and act stupid. But that's like my blow off day to finally just be like, here's like 6 hours of me being stupid, but I'm still playing games, still loving it. But it's just blowing off steam at that point.
Well, that's the best case scenario right there. It's like, I can still use this as a product, and all I'm doing is hanging out. That's
Exactly. Like a couple weeks ago, I did a 13-hour stream for Mafia 3, but it was on a Friday. So me and my best friend sat there, and we still drank most of the night, but I'm playing Mafia 3 for 13 hours. And some guy, came in, dropped a little bit of money. It was like, well, that makes up that makes this whole 13-hour stream worth it. And Mafia 3, I played 40 hours of Mafia 3 within 3 days. Like from it released on Friday to Sunday night, I got my review done. It was like 40 hours of Mafia 3 that weekend.
Wow. My question for you is, you're playing all of these games. You said 40 hours in a weekend. Like, do you ever get tired of playing games? Like, is it still as fun as it was, 9 years ago?
I would say it's still as fun. There's always challenges, and I'm still learning YouTube. Like, I've been doing it for so long, but there's still stuff to learn how the algorithms of search results work, and like how to get higher up on results, and just trying to get views and all this kind of stuff, like in deciding each week, like, okay, here's 10 games that are coming out this week, which ones are worth it for me to buy, because I'm not getting, well, I'm starting to grow, I'm still not getting a lot of companies that are like, oh, here, review my game, here's a free copy, like all the big channels and stuff like that. I don't get very many of them. I had a few. I mean, I've done about 130 reviews in a little over a year now, like 13 months, and out of all 130, it's been 4 I've gotten to do reviews. So a lot of this is coming from my viewer funding and from ad revenue and all that kind of stuff. So I have to kind of every week be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do this week. Which ones are worth doing that I think I can get an audience on, and which ones aren't worth doing because either they're already reviewed, they've already been released maybe on Xbox One or Steam a year ago or whatever it may be. You never, so you have to kind of balance out that. That's the hard part. The playing the game part is still absolutely fun. I love doing it. And I love so many genres. Like there's only 1 or 2 genres where I probably wouldn't review. One being sports titles, not because I don't like sports titles. I just recently played Madden a lot, but I don't know exactly what the sports fans nowadays, like the sports gaming landscape has changed so much with like the ultimate teams and stuff that I don't get really into. So it's hard for me to review that aspect of it. And then the other would be realistic racing, because I couldn't tell you the difference between 2 model cars to save my life. So like, that's just not my thing. All my thing is game. I can tell you the difference between every NES version and every Super Nintendo and every video game system, but I couldn't tell you the difference between car engines. So like for me, doing realistic racing doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But other than that, I pretty much play every genre.
My last 2 questions that I have are: what's your favorite system of all time, and what's your favorite game of all time?
That's a video game. Like this is one of those things where I get asked so much that I kind of like, okay, here's my definitive answer. But honestly, if I was going to do a long discussion, I could go over this game and this game and this game. But I usually just say Last of Us has become my favorite game because it's the story itself can be cliche at times, but it's not about that. It's about the characters and the way that the story is told. I love the acting in it, and Joel has become one of my favorite characters like ever in gaming. And then my other two, like right below that, is Ocarina of Time and Resident Evil 2. And they honestly could flip-flop, depending upon the day. And as far as favorite system goes, I always preface it with like, okay, are we saying that like if backwards compatibility is a thing, does that count? Like PS3, well, I get all PS1 and PS2's library if I have a backwards compatible one. But usually I go,
yes, it counts.
it's like if that counts, then like PS3 is definitely my system at this venture. But like as far as just like its core library of games, I usually go PS1. Just because I think as great as the RPGs are on the Super Nintendo, and I love the Super Nintendo, a lot of those got ported to PS1 through collections. Even though they're not as good, I could still play Chrono Trigger on my PS1 or Final Fantasy 3, AK6, as well as there was just so many other great games because we finally started getting a lot of those great RPGs because of the success of Final Fantasy 7. So PS1 is usually my choice.
Awesome. And you're going to stick around and join us for some of our topics?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. This is the part of the show. Usually we do this at the beginning. We're going to do it now where we kind of discuss the geeky things or just in general what we did over the weekend and over the week, just kind of catch up. But one thing that I want to say to the audience and everybody else in this podcast is the show the night of. I am on episode 6. I got this on Friday. It is fantastic. It has a lot of similarities to The Wire. It's written by the same people. But if you like watching engaging television and just curious about the whole criminal justice system and kind of what goes on in prison, this show is a must watch. It is completely mesmerizing. It's fantastic. And another story I want to tell is, so we took our kids, because we're great parents, to go see The Shining today at the movie theater, my wife and I. Nice. And as we're walking in, we told our son, we're like, we're going to go see a scary movie. And he's like, is it the one with the old grandma? I'm like, what are you talking about? So, we're walking in. He's like, the black old grandma. And I had no idea what he was talking about. Apparently, Tyler Perry has a Madea Halloween. Like, this kid, the only thing he wants to do is go see this Tyler Perry movie. And
you have failed as a parent.
Oh, man.
Dude, I don't watch Tyler Perry movies.
Whatever. I don't know how you let this happen, but
apparently it's all over YouTube on all of the videos he watches because he watches a lot of walkthrough game videos.
Okay.
And he seen this and he really wants to see this, and he's like, Mommy, will you take me? And Liz will do anything for him, and she's like, let's wait for the dollar theater. Like,
no, go see it now.
It could use the love, I'm sure.
He took them to go see The Shining, which is a good horror movie.
No, I was just like, that is. I'm saying you failed as a parent when your child wants to go see a crappy Madea movie. Like
I told him to ask his godfather Max.
No, I hate Madea movies. There's no way. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry you got to go watch Madea.
I'm not going. No.
But I think
you're going.
You should go to a more urban theater and watch it. I think that would be actually pretty funny. I had to sit through that weird what do you call that? Where did we go? The swap meet or whatever we went to.
Oh God.
Okay. So yeah, you should do that.
What did you do this weekend, Max, besides play Friday Night Magic?
I played Friday Night Magic and it was awesome. No, what did I do this week? I watched Westworld. That show is amazing. I'm really digging it. Ed Harris, spoilers, is not in episode 3, and the episode suffers for it because Ed Harris is freaking awesome in that show.
He's in it for like 20 seconds, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Oh man, but it's so good. Like I'm just loving it. HBO, doing it again. You're just talking about another HBO show. These guys rarely ever, like we're gonna forgive them Sex in the City. We're gonna forgive Entourage, but they always have good shows, and I'm really digging Westworld. Yeah, that was pretty much it, though.
I'm still waiting for someone to tell me who the Yul Brynner guy is in Westworld.
I don't know what you mean by that. I know Westworld is based off something else, but I'm unaware entirely of the movie or
the scary bald killer guy whose face melts.
Oh,
at the end of the movie.
The scary bald killer guy so far is Ed Harris. So,
but he's not a robot.
But does his face melt?
We don't know that yet.
No, we don't know that. He might be a robot. Who knows?
I want to take his face.
What about you, Dan?
I've been playing the crap out of Battlefield 1 since it came out. I didn't spring for the earlier enlister thing because I'm not paying $20 for that. But yeah, it's really good. Spoilers for later.
Mike, anything fun this weekend?
Well, yeah, I've been busy as hell this weekend. It was kind of, well, first off, to go with the Westworld and the backwards compatibility discussion, I did revisit my Red Dead Redemption because I was watching Westworld. So I was playing some Red Dead Redemption on my Xbox One and feeling really guilty about all the stuff I was doing. So because of Westworld. And then this weekend, I actually added a new program to the site that I hope to keep doing because it ties back into a lot of the riffing and parody stuff I used to do on Blip TV before I had to move over to YouTube, which was like riffs and commentaries. I did a full feature-length riff on Night of the Living Dead, like everyone else does around Halloween. So that's up for viewing right now, and hopefully maybe I can get one or two of you folks in on this from time to time. I have the guy from Harlem lined up for me and Dan at some point. So it's called Public Domain Raider, and it basically tackles all those movies that are readily available for free and download out there already. So you can just sync up the track and watch along with the movie. But yeah, I'm excited about that. And that's what I focused on this weekend.
Mark, you do anything fun this weekend?
Fun. This weekend's one of those dead ones for me. There's not a whole lot of new games. Like last week was awful new game wise. So this week I didn't do a whole lot, except I started working on a new series I'm going to be doing. I like to go to thrift shops and Goodwills a lot. And I have now, like at this point, amassed drawers of a dresser filled with just crappy PC games that I bought from Goodwill. mostly edutainment, because that's what's always there. But anyway, so I've decided, you know what, I need to do something with this. I spent the money, I have these, I need to do something with them. So I started working on a new series I'm hoping to debut this week, where I kind of review these games, these ones. And the first one I'm starting off with, I have it sitting here because I've been working all weekend on it, is Star Wars Math.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that comes up at all, but yes, it's Star Wars Math from 2000. It's filled with Episode 1 goodness. Yeah, no Jar Jar though, but it has Sebulba and Watto and some of the other great characters that everyone loves. But yeah, so that's going to be my first video for it. So yeah, that's what I've been working on all weekend.
That is awesome. I'm going to find that now.
Little Goodwill or thrift store. Maybe.
Star Wars Math. I want to give that
Star
to my
Wars
niece.
Math. Yeah,
that is great.
Like it's supposed to be from a Lucas Learning. It's called Lucas Learning was the developer, but they did like no other edutainment games other than like this one. They were the ones that did Super Bombad Racing back on the PS2 years ago, which was like a chibi bobblehead pod racing game. I don't know, not a lot of people remember it, but anyway, yes. So Star Wars Math.
Yeah.
That is great.
But is it better than the what the hell was it? The software company's Star Wars Chess.
Oh no! I said Star Wars Chess. The only problem with that is because it was CD. It was like so slow to like do anything. Like one move took like 10 minutes just to see. And like, oh, the death animations. These are kind of cool. Okay, that wasn't worth 10 minutes of loading or whatever it was back on the.
I actually got a teen or like an MA13 on the Sega CD because of that.
Yeah.
Seems baffling to me.
Awesome. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/3geeks for all of your audiobook needs. Max, tell the good people about Audible.
Audible.com. You can get over 180,000 titles read to you. You know, if in case you okay, what are we gonna do? In case you are
is The
lazy,
Shining on there?
It is on there.
Yes,
absolutely
yes,
on there.
See, yeah, Dan knows for sure. Yes, it is. You can get The Shining on there if you're in the Halloween mood. If you're just too lazy to pick up a book, if you have a fear of bookstores for some strange reason, I'm sure that's a thing. If you get triggered by bookstores, you can go to audible.com. There's all of these titles, and then you don't have to go into the scary, spooky bookstores anymore.
Yeah, because I'm sure they have like paper mache ghosts and stuff around.
And
if you scare easily, just stay home.
I do know that people like Dan frequent bookstores, so that's why I stay away from them.
Do you want to see me at the bookstore? No.
But no, so audible.com, go to www.audibletrial.com/3geeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Over 180,000 books.
As horrible as our ads for Audible are, they have not dropped us as a sponsor yet, so that is fantastic. Thank you, Audible.
We weren't burning stuff down this time.
It looks like Deadpool 2 is losing director Tim Miller over creative differences. The director has parted ways with the studio over what insiders say are creative differences between him and Ryan Reynolds, the actor who plays the title character. So, Max, your thoughts on this?
This is bad news. I was already like, Deadpool made too much money, so there's no way that the second movie doesn't get more, because they're going to throw more money at it, and they're going to throw, with more money comes more scrutiny, and then we're already starting to have these problems where, I don't know what caused the split between him and Ryan Reynolds, but this guy wrote and directed this last movie, so that's a huge loss. I thought the Deadpool movie was really, really good. I liked it a lot. So that they couldn't agree on, on the direction it should be going is weird, and I don't know what that means for the future. I don't know if did he already write a script? Are they taking some of that and hodgepodging some others? Are they pulling an Ant-Man on it? It's scary. I don't feel good about it, and I don't like it. And this is just signs of bad things to come, I think.
Mike?
I don't know if I'd be as scared as Max is right now about it. My only hope is that this isn't the end of Tim Miller's filmography, because this was his first big feature, was Deadpool, because to tie it again into video games, he was like directing a bunch of like cinematics for video games and commercials and stuff, and he had a good quality there, and that's what got him the gig for Deadpool. So it's sad that he's parting ways with Reynolds and with the studio on the movie. I hope he goes on to still do some good stuff on his own, maybe even some original material, because I feel like he has a really good eye for stuff like this. With regards to Deadpool, yeah, it's just a matter of what, I guess, remains in the script now, what they're going to keep from his contributions to it. And I don't know, maybe get another just crazy director in there. Get me some Rodriguez. He needs to make a good movie again. So maybe Deadpool could be that for him. Even though he didn't wow me with The Last Sin City, he enjoys these types of films as well. So this might be right up his alley. That would be my choice for director, at least. But I'm not as worried. Yeah, Deadpool 2 is probably not going to do as well as the original, or probably won't be as good. But if it's Ryan Reynolds still doing some funny stuff and you bring in some Cable, it'll be fun.
Mark?
I mean, Deadpool is one of the few. I love comics, but I don't like a whole lot of the comic book movies. I find a lot of issues with them. They've gotten so much better in the last 10 years than they used to be. But Deadpool was one of the few, along with Guardians of the Galaxy, that I absolutely loved when I saw in theaters. I don't go to the theaters that often, so it was like Deadpool I had to see in theaters. So the problem is we have to wait and see now when the new director ends up being, and see how that ends up going before like panic and judgment really kind of set in for a lot of people. I'm willing to give other people the shot at it, but it's going to come down mostly to the writing, I think, more than anything, and we'll see how that ends up going. I think it'll still do well. I think as long as the spirit of what made the first one great is still included, it will still at least be entertaining, which is, that's the most hopeful thing for me, at least.
I have a little bit more optimism than Max does, just because I think I like a lot of the Fox movies a little bit better than Max does. What's that?
I mean, if you like pretty much any of them at all.
Yeah, I know. I do.
I mean, they can just add Bryan Singer. I mean, it would be fine.
Oh yeah, totally.
I am somebody
who can
who
rewrite the whole script.
I personally like Singer's X-Men films, but I want him to stay away from this because I think this is more than anybody. This was Ryan Reynolds' baby from the moment he left, the Wolverine Origins film to now. Like, this has been his passion project. He has been trying to get Deadpool made correctly, and he succeeded with the first movie. And I heard that he did a lot of the writing on the script as well. So as long as Reynolds is involved, my optimism remains, and I'm curious to see who the director is that they're going to bring in. I hope that they don't, like, somebody like Bryan Singer doesn't get his hands all over this, because as much as I personally liked Apocalypse, it was a step back from the previous X-Men film, Days of Future Past, which I really liked. And Singer, I think having the same director do too many movies kind of stales the universe. So let's leave Singer out of this. Whoever put that into the universe, just put it back away.
It's gonna hand it over to J.J. Abrams because why not? He's got everything else.
Dan?
No, that's it. I just had silly interjections.
Well, speaking of Fox and Guardians of the Galaxy, we were treated to 2 awesome trailers this week. We got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and the new trailer for Logan. Mike, take it off. What were your thoughts?
Take what off?
Take it off, son.
That's not what I meant to say.
Oh, you got on that podcast now. Okay. First up, the first trailer or sneak peek I saw was Guardians. I actually did a quick write up on it for neverendingradicaldude.com. Wink.
Nice plug.
So you should go check that out. But I'm excited for this because I wasn't expecting much from the first Guardians, and then when I saw it in theaters, I really fell in love with that film and really enjoyed it for what it was. I'm looking forward to having more Michael Rooker in there, as we all got to meet Michael Rooker at Wizard World last year. And he's got a big head fin now, so I'm excited about that. Everyone's oohing and awing over Baby Groot in his little jacket. I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, that's cute, but does that mean Vin Diesel's still going to get paid gazillions of dollars for saying 3 words again, or is it going to be a midget voicing Groot or something? But yeah. It's going to be Diesel, but he's just going to be pitched up to sound like this.
Yeah, I think they're just putting an effect on his voice.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, this is still some of the most, like, he's had to work in a role, though.
My at this point, what I'm most curious about is Kurt Russell as the Living Planet, because I'm wondering how they're going to carry off the Living Planet and make it still very Kurt Russell-y. So that's interesting. Logan, I had a much more emotional response to, just because I guess this will be the last hurrah for Hugh Jackman, and I'm guessing Patrick Stewart as well. It looks like it's setting itself up to be the last hurrah for both of them, which I guess makes sense because they're the 2 actors who really kind of brought the X-Men movie franchise into what it was, gave it some legitimacy, I guess. And we were talking about The Last of Us. I was definitely getting a Last of Us vibe off the Logan trailer. But at the same time, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more down-to-earth story than even the last movie was. I know they tried to keep the last movie as much of a samurai story as possible up until the actual robot samurai. But I'm excited. Hopefully I get like a big emotional response out of this. And I was talking about this with Jason Fury, too, from Never Ending Radical Dude, who he wrote up, .com. He wrote up the article about that trailer, and he was saying, like, this trailer, like, rips out your heart because it is depressing. Like, Logan has got, like, PTSD or something, not healing. Xavier apparently has dementia and is forgetting stuff. And Jason told me the moment that really broke his heart is when the truck is like swerving and you see frail, helpless Patrick Stewart in the back going like, he was like, my heart broke, man. I'm just like, wouldn't it be cool if these 2 actors it's not going to happen, but they got Oscar nods for this movie. Well, if their acting is just that good and it's kind of a good payoff for this 16-year journey they've had.
This trailer does throw out the small movie vibe. Like it does, like it looks like an Oscar baity movie from the trailer almost. And I was watching it with my wife, and she's like, "I thought we were watching an X-Men trailer because it doesn't really come across as a X-Men trailer until towards the end." And you brought up the dementia with Patrick Stewart. I think that's a fascinating thing to play on, because somebody with the mind of Professor X getting something like dementia, how does it affect other people? You know what I mean? Because he can go inside people's heads, and now his brain is failing while he has this superpower. It's very intriguing, and I hope that they pull the right elements out of that story that they can, because this could be something that we've never seen before. And watching this trailer, it is something that we've never seen before. The trailer does not scream superhero film at all, especially not X-Men.
We're not going to have hillbilly Hulks, unfortunately, but I think we could do it. If we're going to tell a smaller story, you don't want that in there to begin with. And even though it's not going to be a faithful adaptation of Old Man Logan, it'll still be, I'm sure, pretty good. It looks like it's striving to be something a little bit loftier.
Mark?
Yeah, no, I agree with what a lot of what you guys have been saying. Like, the trailer completely shocked me because I knew they were working on this, and I knew a little bit about the source material. But watching this, yeah, no, I definitely, number one, I got a Last of Us vibe. There's definitely that in there, but it feels like it's a smaller contained, not as high giant action with a major ridiculous supervillain and explosions and major cities collapsing, and it seems like a really, like, it has the potential to be the best told story we've seen in one of these X-Men films, maybe of all of them, just because of the scope that it's probably going to cover. Just a smaller scope allows it to be told so much better. And Guardians of the Galaxy, I want to see more of that, before, judge it too much or anything. But I think it hit all the points that people thought were great, as far as like the campiness and the music and of course Groot. So I think it hit all those right notes already. It can only hopefully go up from here for Guardians too.
Absolutely. Dan?
About the Logan trailer, you need a lot to make me go watch this Wolverine movie after the crap I've had to wade through with the other ones. And I don't think this trailer is doing it for me. It's just because at this point, like, I have to be a cynic when I watch it, because I've seen what they did to the samurai guys and the ninja, which was worse than the G.I. Joe movie we did for Animaniacs the one time. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. So maybe if there's like 3 more trailers that get just more depressing, I would like it better. As far as Guardians of the Galaxy, I absolutely love the first movie, and this looks great. I like the song. I mean, they did hit all the right moments. I want more of it, and I can't wait to see this one.
Really quick, to touch upon you're talking about the trailers for Logan being depressing, I just realized it kind of really shoots these young X-Men movies in the foot, because now we see what the future is, and the whole reason of Days of Future Past was like, our future is crap, let's go into the past and change it. And then along comes Logan, which still says, hey, our future's still crap.
Thing I gotta say to that is Fox don't give a fuck about continuity. They do not care about continuity at all.
I'm guessing.
They have a sign on their wall in the X-Men studios that says "fuck continuity." They don't care about continuity.
Maybe if they put Professor X in a bag and just start hitting him with sticks, and they'll be like, "Oh no,
Max."
No, I kind of have the opposite feeling of Dan. Where I mean, like, I feel like, yes, going into it, you have to be a complete and total cynic, because I agree with that. Where like, it's just, they just keep on heaping this piles of shit on top of you all the time. And but and all these Wolverine movies are terrible. But no, I saw this trailer and I was like, well, holy crap! They got me to actually want to go see an X-Men movie or a Wolverine movie, or even on top of that, it's a Wolverine movie. So I'm kudos to them. I'm interested in seeing this movie now. I really like the Old Man Logan comic book, and I feel like this is a good movie. The feel of it I got from the trailer is solid. And yeah, of course, they can't throw Hillbilly Hulk in there and they can't have Hawkeye in there, but it's still the spirit of the comic book is what I'm getting. That came across really well in the trailer. Now, if they just edited all the parts that felt like the comic book together in the trailer, and that's all we get, then they got me, but hopefully not. It looks solid, so I'm excited to see Logan. Guardians 2, Guardians wasn't my favorite like Marvel Universe movie, like a lot of people's it is, but I don't think as highly of it as a lot of people do, but it's still a lot of fun, and this trailer is just got the same feel as that, so it looks like a lot of fun. I'm ready to see it when it comes out. Oh yeah, Kurt Russell as Ego the Living Planet. Mike, you're saying, like, I am interested to see how they do that as well, because that is going to take some pulling off.
I'm secretly hoping it is just a bad like 80s effect where they superimpose his face onto like the moon or something.
Oh God.
It won't be that. It'll either be like that's just a name for him and he's just a regular guy, or they'll CGI the hell out of the planet to make it look like motion capture face. But I was really kind of hoping like it's just Kurt Russell's face like cross dissolve into the moon and he just smiles at Star-Lord like
That would be great.
It's like a Pepsi commercial.
But yeah, it's the Guardians trailer. I heard a couple people complaining that they used the same song as the first movie. Like, this is the first trailer for this movie, and what better way to reintroduce these characters than to give you the song? And the scene in the middle with Drax and Star-Lord was freaking hilarious. What's that, Mike?
they got to save up all the songs on Awesome Mix 2. Because remember, he got Awesome Mix Volume 2 at the end of the first movie, so they're not going to reveal what those songs are until movie comes out. So
Absolutely, and I want to see it. I cannot wait to see this movie. I can't wait to hear a high-pitched Vin Diesel do more acting than he has done in a very long time.
I mean, I'm pretty sure when he says like "I am Groot," like when he's dying, that was like the most heartfelt acting Vin Diesel has done since, I don't know, like Saving Private Ryan.
Iron Giant, dude. Superman.
Oh yeah, that's true. He did do Iron Giant.
You're leaving out A Man Apart, where you know he's like a grizzled cop because he grows his stubble out and smokes now.
That's true.
See, I mean, that's acting.
But also about Fox, like, and their continuity, their feelings about continuity. It doesn't make sense to me why they don't sell X-Men to Marvel. You know, like they do what Sony did. Hey, you guys can make your own X-Men movie. We'll just keep making movies because we obviously don't care anyway. You know, and like because Marvel will do all the work. You know, they're like, here, you get to use the titles. You do all the work, make the movie. We'll take half the money. And
maybe this is kind of the signal fire for that. Since this is going to be the last Jackman Wolverine, maybe they're going to be like, okay, maybe now we can finally get around to that deal because the guy who's been keeping us afloat is retiring from this role, and we're going to have to figure something else out.
All I got to say is I think the Fantastic Four are back at Marvel, and we're going to find out soon enough.
I'm
because
hoping.
I know that Marvel had to go back, or Fox had to go back to Marvel to get the rights to use the X-Men in the TV, and they're using the X-Men in the TV, and I have a feeling Fantastic Four had something to do with that deal, and we'll find out soon enough.
We'll see.
But what a great reveal in the Avengers if somebody from the Fantastic Four shows up.
Oh, dude, if Reed Richards shows up in the Avengers movie, it's going to be freaking awesome.
Just no origin story again. We don't need another Fantastic Four origin story.
Yes.
No.
We should always have an origin.
Just like we don't need a Spider-Man origin story. Just introduce the Fantastic Four
origin story that takes up the first like 30 minutes of the film. Come on.
All right,
It's the way it's done now.
I think they need to have a whole nother round of movies where we go over everyone's origin story again. And it's it'll be like last time on Avengers. And then like it'll go over everyone's origin story. It'll be like a 45-minute movie of everyone's origin story and all the new characters.
Or you could petition both Marvel and Fox and tell them what we did on Remake Revolution. That's the way to go.
There you go. Or just, I don't know that Uncle Ben dies in Spider-Man, so you need to show it to me just one more time. I need to see him get bit by a spider.
And Uncle Ben's got to die. And with great power comes great responsibility.
Again.
Yes.
You can come out with like an hour, like every month, and just pack it full of origin stories and make people go to the theater to go watch it. I mean, you could have, it's like DLC, like you could buy a ticket to all 12 of them, and then just have to show up to see all the origin stories.
All right. On that note, Donald Glover was cast as young Lando Calrissian in the upcoming Han Solo Star Wars.
But before they make that movie, they're making the Lando Calrissian origin story. I can't wait to see the Han Solo origin story movie.
Tell us about it, Max.
Donald Glover is going to be the token black friend in Han Solo's origin story movie. So that's cool. I'm down, I guess. Donald Glover's kind of blowing up right now. He got a lot of press for to play Miles Morales Spider-Man. So he didn't get that, but so he's been in. He was in The Martian. He was in Community, which I loved him in. He's been popping up here and there, and this is good. I'm glad to see him get work. I like him a lot. So, Mike.
As long as there's a scene where young Han Solo looks to him because Lando's being like kind of annoying or something like that, and he's just like, "You're being a real childish Gambino," then That'll make me happy. But yeah, sure. I liked him in what was that one? The Martian. With he did a pretty good job in The Martian with math.
Yeah.
So I would love to see him lay on some of that Billy D smooth charm. Let's see if he can channel some Billy D. That'd be cool. And it'd be kind of cool if this is actually all taking place from from old Lando's perspective. Just get Billy D. Williams in a rocking chair somewhere, being like, "I remember when I first met Han." There you go.
And then I wanted to be Two-Face.
But you have to cast Mike Myers to do the. Mark, your thoughts?
No, I'm looking forward to this. I think he'll do a fine job. I don't see any issue with it. Han Solo is my favorite film character ever, so I am looking forward to it. A little bit worried, but I think just the fact that they've already said that we will find out like how the whole exchange of the Millennium Falcon actually went down fully, like seeing that on film, that's a small highlight, even if everything else ends up being crap. I think it'll at least be entertaining for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't find out Lando and Jar Jar were college buddies,
Well,
I think we're good to go.
If we get like a drunken kegger with Jar Jar, like I think that's good. Like a frat party with just Gungans everywhere.
I mean, like,
as long as it ends with him falling out a window.
Fuck Jar Jar, but they could definitely have Boss Nass, like, if they're hanging out with Boss Nass.
Perfect.
You know, Boss Nass clears the like 3-story beer bong. And then
Let us know if Boss Nash shows up on that Star Wars math computer.
No, he doesn't. I wish. Oh, no, I wish he did. I think, unfortunately, no. I got plenty of Jabba, but no.
Dan?
I concur. Sounds great. I want to see this movie.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's surprised that Lando is going to make an appearance in the Han Solo film, and I think they cast a great actor to do the role.
I mean, you can't have Billy D. Williams do it again, which would be my first pick, but he's old now.
Billy D. They need to get Lando into Episode 8, because if they're really going to do the Han Solo funeral, like has been reported, if Lando doesn't show up, that's pretty messed up, right?
Yeah,
Lando's awesome.
Let Billy come back.
Awesome to see Billy D. And Billy D's the greatest.
I would love for Lando to come back and be like, reveal like Brokeback Mountain levels of like untold history between him and Han. That would be kind of fun. Like,
I wasn't gonna go
I
there,
never
Mike.
told you this, but those intergalactic fishing trips Han and I used to take.
We would sit back and enjoy a refreshing Colt 45.
I was just saying that Billy shows up to Han's funeral and like Max on Leia. Like I wasn't even going to go there.
Grief is the biggest aphrodisiac in the galaxy. I guess.
Here, drink some Colt 45.
See, what's that?
I think Boss Nass would kick the shit out of Jabba the Hutt. Ever since he said Boss Nass and Jabba together, I've just been thinking about if they fought each other.
He's more mobile, though.
Yeah,
so, I mean, dude, Jabba just kind of lays there and takes it the whole time.
But I mean, like, you don't know, like, can he, like, I mean, he was walking around in the most retarded added scene, so, like, I mean, he is a little bit mobile.
Oh, my Pookie.
But, you know, he's just like, and then, you know, Boss Nass is like, and then just start like, going at it. I think Boss Nass would win, though.
Well, hopefully they both show up at Han's funeral.
Oh, dude.
And then like a charred, scarred Jabba from the explosion is like, good. I'm glad he's dead.
and then they have a freaking Family Guy, freaking Peter versus Chicken Man style fight, like throughout the galaxy.
Wow, and I want to thank Mark
Why
for
doesn't
joining
Hollywood
us
pay us for these ideas?
But yeah, my goal was to be done by 8:45, and it looks like we made that goal. We will be live streaming my wife's reaction to Daryl getting killed on The Walking Dead tonight. Let's see if the show can get any better. Because Mark, do you watch The Walking Dead at all?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Are you
I have a lot of
tonight?
friends. Yeah, most like I like it, but I have the friends that are obsessed with it, so I have to like just sit there and just because I think almost everyone that could potentially be the one who dies is a fan favorite of one of my friends. So like,
so you win regardless.
It's just that reaction will be worth it. Hey, I they had to all see me react when Han died, and so tiny little bit of revenge here.
I like The Walking Dead, but one of my beefs with the show is it's got such good potential, and they do write some really good episodes a season, but they spend like 2 or 3 episodes between those great episodes getting to the episode. There's a lot of walking. I really think Walking Dead could benefit from going back to their 12 episodes a season and not these 18 that they've been doing, because they're definitely stretching the story. I mean, we spent all season last year waiting for Negan, and we got him for 5 minutes.
They have a lot of flying to Planet Namek going on.
Flying to Planet Namek.
But yep, I got to get these yahoos out of my basement.
Well, we're not going to talk about the new Nintendo, though?
Yeah, really.
Oh, okay, new Nintendo. Let's talk about it.
I mean, we got the video game guy on. We're not going to talk about the new
We're
Nintendo.
going to talk about the new Nintendo. Damn it, I almost made it.
Damn, you couldn't.
Okay, so a couple days ago, Nintendo released their trailer for what was then known as the NX, and now the Nintendo Switch, which kind of looks like a tablet with 2 controllers you can take off of the sides.
I thought it looked really cool.
And and it has a docking bay that you could potentially do like 2001 music while you dock it, and then watch it on your TV. Go see the trailer, because I'm not doing this justice at all. But I thought it looked pretty damn cool, and I will buy one.
I probably will too. Mark?
Basically, I'll try to keep it short. But
no problem, man. She's watching Once Upon a Time anyway.
Okay. But yeah, basically that it's what a lot of people, including myself, thought it would be, that hybrid of a console and a handheld. So I think the biggest negative for it is that it's not going to be backwards compatible with Wii U, or 3DS titles. Because the way they're changing up everything. I think it has a ton of potential, especially if they don't decide to make any other handheld system. Like if their 3DS is they're done with it, and now it's just the Nintendo Switch that they're focused on. This leads to all the games potentially can go now just on one system instead of kind of splitting it between 2, because the handheld market has declined so much because of phones and such. It's all going to come down to 2 things: price point and games. Yes, all these third parties are like, oh, look, we're working with, all these companies. We have a giant, massive picture. It's like, well, a picture with company names, I could come up with and do that in 2 seconds myself. Let's see the games, because there was a lot of support for Wii U initially, and so many games either got delayed, never came out, or companies like some mediocre download only ports and stuff like that. And it's cool to see something like Skyrim on display, but I mean, Skyrim is now how many years old? I know it's getting remastered coming out this week, but it's still a relatively older title. It'll all come down to what's Nintendo bringing out as far as the heavy hitters right away, other than Breath of the Wild, and what, if any, third-party exclusives are there going to be. Because if it's like, oh, well, it's also on PS4 and Xbox One, why would you, as an Xbox One PS4 owner, immediately be like, oh, I got to get on the Switch now because I can play it for 4 hours before the battery dies on a plane? Like, it's not going to necessarily be unless you're traveling all the time, it's still going to be worth it to get it on whatever console you already own. So we'll have to wait and see. That's mostly price and games.
Yeah, Max, you want to talk about this for me?
Yeah, this is the first Nintendo I've been excited about since the GameCube came out. So, I'm down. I'm excited to get this. I've heard that they're going to try to keep the price point down to like around 300, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be around 400 when it comes out. But that's cool if they can. If it's a relatively cheap system, and again, you can pick up your game and take it with you wherever you go. I just don't see how that isn't the best case scenario, and also
come with the VR helmet now.
Yeah, that's. I mean, hey, if you got a little freaking VR setup, that'd be cool too. I mean, it's already a tablet, so
you're on a plane with the helmet,
yeah,
tablet.
Yeah, you're like walking around punching people on the plane and stuff. Good to go. But no, like it did get me excited. I kind of like the look of that new Zelda game that they, and so yeah, I'm just ready to see what they got going. It looks like a normal controller for when you're sitting at home. Like you don't have to be doing all of this all the time. I'm down for that, and yeah. So yeah, no, it looks good. Mike, what are you gonna get?
I haven't seen the trailer yet. This is news to me. I haven't had a Nintendo system like you, Max, since the GameCube. But I don't know. I'll give it a look. But the price might be a little daunting for me. I'm not a hardcore gamer really that much, so I'm not really sure how much more I'm going to be keeping up with systems. and the next generation of systems from here on out. But I'll definitely look into it a little bit more. But from what you guys are describing, it seems like it might be something interesting. We'll see.
Awesome. You can check out Mark's YouTube channel, Cornshaq. It's in the description of this video. Just click the link and check it out. Me and Dan, we're having fun for hours just clicking on different videos, watching them. I get sucked into those top 10s and walkthroughs. I could spend all day. I'm going to show your channel to my stepson who loves watching that kind of stuff.
Thank you, guys.
We really appreciated having you on today. You have a standing invitation. Anytime you want to hop on, let us know, because this was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
You can also check out Mike at youtube.com/Mike McGTV. And as Mike mentioned, he also writes for neverendingradicaldude.com. So check out some of his reviews over there. And our buddy Jason Fury does a lot of stuff
at Nerd Poop.
At Nerd Poop, yeah. But we are at 3 Geeks Podcast. From all of us, check out us on Facebook, because my wife, I'm telling you, if Daryl dies, I might die. So definitely watch our Facebook feed. This is going to be exciting.
If she kills me, I want someone there to witness.
Podcast.
It'll be on the internet.
I do have one more quick story to tell. So Max and I were working at the store on Friday night, and somebody traded this in.
Oh, that is amazing.
This is Vigo.
That is Vigo. That is amazing.
So I raced home real quick before my wife got home, and I hung it on the wall in our living room. And she wouldn't kiss me for 2 days until I removed it from the wall. I left it up there until this morning. It stayed on that wall. It was funny. I wanted to take down the pictures of the kids above the fireplace and hang it up there, because that would have been funny, but it wouldn't fit above the fireplace.
Well, you're probably in luck, because one of your kids might be possessed by the spirit of Vigo right now, so you never know.
How is that a downside? I mean, really.
And I couldn't deal.
To being the mother of a living God.
Creepy possessed child.
Well, that'd be awesome.
No way.
Get a teacher to spider walk down the stairs.
No way.
Anyway, from all of us and Philip, who couldn't be here today, have a great night.